It's the same songs and food every Christmas, but we're taking food to another level as we whip, bake, and be merry by going gluten-free with our Garbanzo Flourless Chocolate Cake. Hello everyone, I'm Buddy Trinidad from the Pastry Alliance of the Philippines. Welcome to Arla Pro Digital Kitchen Series. To start our dessert today, all you need to do is to prepare a 9-inch cake ring or a cake pan. Whatever you have at home, that's fine. If you have a cake ring, you need to line it with foil at the bottom. And to prepare this pan, you just need to grease it. You can use a oil spray, a cooking spray, or you can use butter, okay? Just anything to grease it up. Now, first thing we're gonna do is melt our chocolate and our butter together, okay? What I do is I get some hot water going. Doesn't have to be boiling, okay? Just nice and hot. Okay, I turn off the fire. Okay, make sure it's turned off. I combine my dark chocolate, okay, with the Arla Pro sweet unsalted butter right here. Combine the two, and then I put it on top of the hot water right there. Now, there are many ways to melt your chocolate. Okay, this is the way that I choose to do it. I guess because I'm old, right? This is the way I was taught. Another way you could do is to use a microwave. The thing that I have about microwaves is that microwaves use moisture to heat up or to cook your food. And for me, I don't want to cook any of this. I just want to melt it. So you need to be gentle. You need to take care of your ingredients. Make sure not to ruin them, especially if your ingredients are of high quality, just like we're using today. So this will take a few minutes to melt. I prefer it this way, nice and slow, and I'm not damaging any of the products. So as we wait for our chocolate to melt, it's time to move over here to our food processor where we're gonna take our garbanzo beans. Remember, this is a flourless chocolate cake, okay? So this will replace that, okay? But it's flourless, so it's gluten-free, okay? All right, garbanzo beans go right in. 4 whole eggs. Now the eggs we're using for this one are large, 4 large eggs. And we'll give that just a quick pulse. Using the food processor gets rid of all the skin and gets this nice and smooth. Okay, I'm gonna hit it with a little vanilla, just about a teaspoon of vanilla. There we go. Put our sugar and baking powder, pinch of salt, zest of 1 orange, give that a little buzz. And that's it. It's as easy as that. All right, now that our chocolate has melted, right, combined nicely with our butter, nice and smooth, as you can see, it's time to combine our garbanzo egg mixture. It's out. Okay. Blade off. Now, if you want, you could do this mix in the food processor if you want. You can do that. But I choose to mix it by hand. Right? Nothing wrong with a little elbow grease. So to mix this, I start from the middle, just like I would a ganache. Create a little friction right there. So you can see it's beginning to mix properly. Color is changing. Right? As you can see, It's now fully incorporated, just last bits at the edge, and that's it. And you are done. This is your cake mixture right here. Now it's time to pour it into your pan. So I have a 9-inch cake pan right here, nice and greased. You can use butter, you can use shortening, whatever you want, Pam spray. Pour the cake mixture into the pan. Go. Only thing we need to do now is bake it, okay? So we need to put this in a preheated oven, 350 degrees, about 35-40 minutes. Take that. What I normally do is I check it after 20 minutes, give it a little push, a little bump, just to see how wet the cake is. Okay, that'll give you more or less a guesstimate of when it's going to be done, because you don't want to overbake this. Okay, now all ovens are different, so that's why I do that. That's why I do a little halftime, little bump just to check, and we'll come back and we'll see exactly when the cake is done. Next, we are going to make our ganache, which is what we're going to use to cover the cake and also to decorate the cake. Now, to help melt our chocolate along, I've heated up some water. I'm taking it off the heat, putting the chocolate in our bowl right here and putting it on the heat, just like that. Okay? Then I'm going to heat up our cream. I'm using the Arla Pro whipping cream right here. Okay? All right. To help this along the way, give it a little mix the chocolate while I'm waiting for the cream heat up. Now, I don't want to bring this to a boil. Okay? I don't want to do that. I don't want to lose any impurities by bringing it up to a boil. I just want to heat it up. Okay? Now, after that, I will be adding Arla Pro butter, unsalted butter. In baking, always use unsalted butter. That way you can control the salt content of your food. Now, see the nice steam that's coming out of here? That means my cream is hot enough. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to pour it right into the chocolate. There you go. I'm going to let this sit for a minute. I'm going to let the heat of the cream melt the chocolate. I'm not going to touch it, even though I want to. All right? Now, some people use a spatula, a rubber spatula, to make the ganache. Some people use a whisk. Now, I don't want to incorporate any air bubbles into my ganache because I want it nice and smooth and creamy. So I'm going to use a rubber spatula. Now I'm going to start in the middle. What I want to do is I want to create some friction between the chocolate and the cream, just like that. When you create friction, you create elasticity in the ganache, which gives you a good mouthfeel. Okay? So I'm going to start in the center of the bowl, just like that. Just mixing. Just go round and round, just in the middle. I'm not going outside, if you notice. In any second now, you see that the ganache is changing color in the middle. Right there. Because it's mixing properly. There you go. There you go. Okay. Now it looks really watery right now, but in a second you see how shiny it got right there. It changed in a matter of seconds. Nice and shiny. And to finish it off, I'm gonna add my Arla Pro unsalted butter. Right there. Now at this point, you can use a stick blender if you want, but I like to use the rubber spatula. Now, here we go. Now this is a proper ganache. Ganache is something where it's a recipe where you want to use the best ingredients you can get your hands on. And we've definitely done that here. And there you have it. Dark chocolate ganache. Now the cake is done, and this has been sitting in the fridge for about 2 hours. Make it nice and firm. Next step is to take it out of the pan, of course. There's two ways you can do this. You can take it out, just invert it onto a board, or you can invert it onto a rack. Whatever melts your butter, whatever cracks your whip, whatever floats your boat. It's really up to you. So I use a board. So I just flip it like that, and out comes the cake. See, that's why it's very important to always grease your pans. And then what I do is I just put a bowl like this onto a pan. That way I catch all the ganache that drips off. There we go. Just like that. Make sure it's nice and center so it doesn't tip over. And then I have my ganache that I just made right here. Okay. And then you just pour it over the cake. Pour it from the center. In a circle like that, you want to get it nice and even all around. That. Take your spatula. There we go. Okay. Clean off the side. And then from here, we put it back in the fridge to make the ganache set just about 20 minutes before we decorate it. All right. So here we have our chocolate garbanzo flourless cake right out of the fridge. It rested for about 2 hours, right? For as little as 20 minutes, if you want. Just for the ganache to set. Now it's time to decorate. So I took the rest of my ganache and I just worked it, put it in the fridge also for about 20 minutes, let it thick, and then worked it with the rubber spatula. Okay, so you can see it'll, when I pipe it, you can see the difference in color. Okay, so I'm gonna put some in my bag. Now the tip that I'm using is just a plain round tip. Okay, nothing fancy. Just nice and easy. We're gonna do a very basic, very easy decoration for the top of this cake. Okay. All right. So you just do a little off the center, like that. Come around. All right. Little chocolate decorations up on top. And finally, sprinkle some sea salt. To finish. And here it is. Grab a slice of our guilt-free Garbanzo flourless chocolate cake, all made better, of course, with Arla Pro products. Global Pacific Distribution Network is the exclusive food service distributor for Arla and Arla Pro products. You can find our best Arla Pro products for your dairy kitchen needs at any SNR membership club. And look for our Arla Pro sales consultants ready to assist you. Whip a little magic this Christmas with another recipe featuring sustainable ingredients next week, only here at Arla Pro Digital Kitchen Series. Again, this is Buddy Trinidad. Happy holidays, everyone!